wow moment, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with you as always. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and an open heart to your listening experience, and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality. While listening, you will be exposed to inspiring, empowering, and unifying perspectives that I'm highly confident will yield stellar results in your life if you opt to try them on for size. Also, if you're a longtime P-Head listener, you know I have been diligently working on producing episodes for my new late-night style, consciousness-elevating video talk show, Optimistic. Well, after a year plus in the making, I am thrilled to announce that we will be releasing Season 1's episodes weekly beginning March 15th, and I'm asking for your help to spread the love and to let your friends and family know about Optimistic when it's released. In exchange for taking a minute to share our Episode 1 teaser video on March 15th, or whenever you're hearing this, up through the end of April, we're giving you monthly memberships to not one, but two consciousness-expansive online content portals from two of my very favorite teachers and healers that are valued at over $50 a month, as well as entering your name into a drawing to win a free week at the Mystic Manor for a retreat immersion valued at $2,950, where the winner will be chosen in April. Otherwise, if you're interested in hearing more details about the rewards you'll receive for supporting, we'll send you a video that goes into detail when you text the word Mystic to the number 22999. You can also go to optimistic.tv to see several other videos, including the Optimistic show trailer and two videos that discuss the week-long retreat immersion, as well as details of what the Mystic Manor immersion entails and how you can book a week to come stay with us even if you don't win the raffle.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I'd love to share with you guys my experience over the last weekend at the Conscious Life Expo and also at the Mystic Manor. But before I do, I want to let you know about a couple events coming up. One is an event that I am doing here in Scottsdale, Arizona. It is on February 22nd. It is a past life group regression workshop, and I'm doing that at Abundance Space. And I'm doing a little deal this time, 2 for $22. So if you come with a friend, you each pay $22. The single price is $33. So bring a friend, come hang out and journey with me. It'll be super fun. There's a Facebook event posted both on Abundance Space and my personal Facebook page, so you can check it out there. And the other event is actually being held at the Mystic Manor. It is called Holistic Bliss. It's an art and wellness workshop. It is hosted by Divine Reflections, which was created by Erica Wexler and Carly Veronica. And what this week is going to be about is awakening your creative spirit through various collaborative and personalized art exercises, finding balance with guided yoga and meditation, and exploring your connection to the earth through plant medicine, and rejuvenating with access to the hot tub, pool, and chef-prepared vegan meals. So if you'd like to check out more about that, you can go to their Facebook page, Holistic Bliss, Art and Wellness Workshop. So a little bit about my weekend. You guys, I have to say, one, anytime we get together, our tribe gets together at events like something like the Conscious Life Expo or any other event, it is so incredibly important. I say this all the time, and I just really want to encourage you all to go out and get with your tribe. I feel like there is nothing more beneficial to helping you increase your vibration and remember who you are and not feel so alone in the world when you get with your people. These people feel like family, and it is so much fun. So, of course, that is what I experienced this weekend at Conscious Life Expo, but that's not what I want to talk about. I also want to talk about the experience that I had at the Mystic Manor. You know, we talk about how magical and wonderful this place is. And I only know of that through hearing various experiences, but for the first time, I hadn't been there yet, believe it or not, I got to experience it for myself. It is truly a very beautiful, magical, empowering, and healing place. And speaking of family, this is where you meet your family. So I had the pleasure of meeting the 3 guests who were there for the weekend, Alicia, Kristen, and Laura. And I'll tell you what, immediate family. I love these women. Girls, if you're listening, which Alicia, I'm sure you're not since you don't do podcast listening, but Kristen and Laura and Heidel, if you're listening too, Heidel was the one, if you heard last week's episode, Heidel was the one who gifted Laura her stay. And that was such a beautiful story. And Heidel, you are such a beautiful man, and I absolutely love you. And I love all 3 of you. I felt an immediate connection with all of you. What's really funny too, if you all heard their episode, they all got lotus tattoos. I happen to have a lotus tattoo. So 3 more tattoo sisters. And, you know, I just have to say, it's no coincidence that the people who come together in a place at a certain time are all meant to be there for a reason. Because get this, you guys, Kristen and I are from the same tiny little small town in Pennsylvania, Bluebell, Pennsylvania. And yeah, we just happened to be there at the same time. Just perfect. What's also beautiful, their stories, their healing stories, their empowerment, it was like a theme, not just at the Mystic Manor, but at Conscious Life Expo. The themes were consistent the entire weekend. So I don't know about you guys, but maybe these themes came up for you too. And these are really the things that I want to talk about today. Plus, I want to tell my stories about the expo because it was really a good time and some really cool things happened. But I also think it's really, really cool when there are themes. And what I mean by this is like you're around a bunch of people and you have different conversations, but the same topics are coming up over and over and over again. So one of the big themes of the weekend, everywhere, myself included, was these energies, and all of you mothers out there may understand what I'm talking about here, but the mother energy, which is also the helper energy, which can also turn into the martyr energy. And I know you moms out there know what I'm saying when we get to the place where we feel a little overwhelmed because we have so much to do and so much is our responsibility. And then when we take the time out for ourselves, we feel a little guilty about it. It's a mom thing. And a lot of the moms I talked to this weekend were feeling that way. But at the same time, also understanding how important and vital it is to do this type of self-care. To understand that our families will survive. They will be okay. Our house might be a little messy when we get home, but they will eat, they will live. And we don't have to do it. We are able to just take a break and know that everything will be okay. It's really important for us moms to take this self-care time, whatever it is that you do. So for all you moms listening, make sure you do something for yourself today, every day. Take 10 minutes. Who cares? Do something for you because you deserve it. Another big theme of the weekend was discernment. So if you can imagine, this is a huge expo, thousands and thousands of people, tons and tons of speakers and exhibitors. And, you know, there's a little bit of everything. And there are people who really know what they're talking about. And there are some other people who claim to know what they're talking about. But how do you know? You don't. You have to figure out for yourself what are your own discernment filters. Because I have to say, when I look around, I have a fairly strong discernment filter at this point. And I'll give you a couple hints as to what those things are. And it's really simple. Love or fear? Is this coming from, is this idea, is this concept, this thought, whatever it is it coming from love or is it coming from fear? So that's my main discernment. And then after that, I go into the virtues. And one of the biggest things for me is humility. So when I look at a speaker or someone who is an expert or claiming to be an expert in something, I always put things through that filter of all these virtues. Do I think there's integrity and humility and wisdom ultimately? But the humility thing, it's a big one. And I'll tell you why, because in this spiritual community, there's lots of channelers, there's lots of big energies being brought in. There's lots of, I'm a fifth dimensional being who's come here into this world to be a light worker and save humanity and all of that. And one of my biggest things is if the person I'm listening to, for any reason, can't see that we are one in unity with each other, that everyone is a starseed. This isn't something special. Being from Source isn't something special. We're all from Source. We all have been on different planets. We've all lived on different dimensions. And so this discernment factor is one of my biggest things that I wanted to share with you. Because along this journey, along this path, I think it is really important that we learn to make discernments for ourselves. What is right for me? What resonates for me? What is in my highest and best? It's not going to be everything you hear. And I also think it's important to be able to discern between a prophet and a false prophet, for example, an angel and a demon in disguise, or an angel. Yeah, that's what I mean. An angel and a demon in disguise, because demons will disguise themselves as angels, and you have to be able to discern the difference. So how do you make those discernments for yourself? Those are some of the ways that I do it. And you can work with your own guides and your own intuition to figure out a way to do that for yourself. You can give yourself a simple in your head yes or no meter. You can use a pendulum. You can see which side of your body you see or hear or feel from. And you get to decide. So yeah, I just wanted to share that important thing with you all. I know it's hard along this process trying to figure out what is what, but definitely make your own decisions and figure out what is what for you. Don't take what anybody says as truth until you figure it out for you. So one of the most amazing talks I sat in was Bashar, of course. If y'all know who Bashar is, he's channeled by a man named Daryl Anka. And I've never seen Bashar live before. I've only seen YouTube video clips. And so to sit in there and that audience was, I'll just say, quite an experience. So here comes my story. Okay, this experience was pretty intense for me. So I'm probably not going to tell all of it. I'm just going to tell a little bit of it, but there will be more to come, I am sure. So I'm going to back up and start at the very beginning. Even before I got to the expo, this story starts. I realize now afterwards, this story has been happening for years. And this story is happening for you in your life right now. And you don't even realize it. And this is why I want to tell you, because for years, I didn't get it. And I still don't get it. I'm putting the pieces together. My puzzle is coming together. So what I mean by this is all happening for everyone listening right now is that you are getting puzzle pieces every single day. And you might not know what they mean, but they do feel significant. And they're piling up over the years. All these synchronicities, all these significant symbols, all these intuitive messages, whatever it may be, these are your puzzle pieces, and they are piling up for you right now. So what happened to me this weekend was my puzzle pieces got put together in a very kind of activating, mind-blowing for me experience. Pretty intense. So, and this all started in Bashar. So before I came to the expo, there was a friend of mine. If you guys know Tracy Mahan, she's been on the show with me a couple times, but Tracy was going to be at the expo and I was all excited. I was thinking about seeing her and how much I'd missed her. And so I was thinking about this. I was standing in my backyard thinking about Tracy and actually seeing in my head, seeing her. In that moment, an owl swooped down at my head like it was, wanting to eat me or something. I realized I was too big and swooped away. But holy cow. Immediately I recognized the metaphysical significance of that. So what is an owl? An owl to me is intuition. It is our connection to other realms. It is that medicine woman side, that connected side. It is also that multidimensional and that extraterrestrial. Yeah. So those are the things I think about when I think owl. And of course, Tracy was associated with that because Tracy is my multidimensional fairy realm friend. And so, of course, I just felt like that was significant, but didn't understand the complete significance of it until I was sitting in Bashar. On the way to Bashar, there was a group of us walking in, and I was with all ladies, which is a significant thing because it was very important. This, like I talked about the mother energy before, this feminine energy that is coming through right now is very, very strong. And it's very important that all of us look within and recognize our divine feminine and the power within it. Men too. So on the way there, I grabbed another friend. Hi, Lisa, if you're listening. Grabbed Lisa on the way into Bashar. And as we're sitting there, I noticed that her backpack is an owl. And I showed Tracy like, hey, there's the owl. So cool. We were listening to Bashar. He's amazing. And if I have a second here, I will play a clip, not of his talk at Conscious Life Expo, but it's very similar to a portion of his talk there where he talked about the year of 2020. So I'll play that in a minute if we have time. If not, I'll play it another day. But so not too long after that, all of a sudden I was hit with this intense energy, this very, very strong emotion, very loving, but very, very intense, where I just started welling up, like my eyes started welling up. It was that intense as I was sitting there listening to him. My eyes even started to blink a little bit. So I realized what was happening and grounded myself. But it just kept coming. So what happened to me was an intense activation experience in that Bashar talk, and it continued for the next day and a half, to where when I left that talk, I would be standing in one place feeling like my equilibrium was off, like I was standing in a vortex, while at the same time the earth was shaking. There were no earthquakes going on, but this energy was so intense that that's what it was making me feel like. So it took me about a day and a half to allow this to settle in and integrate. And I'm still working with it and I'm still trying to figure it all out. But I know that this was a beautiful activation and there are just amazing things to come. So there was so many more synchronicities and things going on that I could just talk about this pretty much all day. The last thing I'll tell you that was neat that happened was I drove, right? It's about a 6.5 hour drive. So as I pull into my neighborhood, the clouds above my neighborhood were in the exact formation of a flying saucer. I mean, it couldn't have been any more clear. It was a perfect flying saucer over my house. Just a little more confirmation to my experience over the weekend. So with that, I'm going to play this Bashar clip and give you a little taste of what we talked about there. Take a listen.
All right, I'll say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? All right. If we understand your response, you are all woo. We thank you for the co-creation once again of this interaction. We would like to begin this transmission with the idea of navigating the splitting prism of parallel realities. Now, as we have said in other transmissions, what you are experiencing on your planet at this time is a juncture, a junction point, a pivot point, especially coming up in your year of 2020, which symbolically represents the idea not only of clear vision forward, but also the idea of 2020 hindsight. And in gathering together all the lessons you have learned, all the information that you need to move forward with clarity in that pivotal year and the years to follow.
I wanted to ask, like, besides following the passion, is there any, like, supplements, for example, or what I'm trying to get to is how did you get to where you are? I'm trying my best here, so I okay, the formula. Okay, I'll keep following the formula. Okay, all right. Okay.
All right. Now, pay attention. Pay attention. In our evolutionary path, we simply have discovered and experienced the ability of actually seeing the nature and structure of existence in the same way that you would look at an object or a mechanism and simply be able to describe it. It's not an opinion, it's not a philosophy, you're just describing what you see. So when we give you the formula and talk about the tools that automatically come with it, we are distilling down for you into an instruction manual the essence of how existence is structured, what its nature is, how it works to your advantage. We have distilled it down into the simplest possible form of understanding in your language in order for it to be the most efficient and effective methodology, but you don't have to believe that. But the idea is, it's like saying, I have a car with 4 wheels. Should I have 6? Should I have 8 wheels on it? You only need 4 for it to remain stable. So the idea is you can reduce things down to 3 wheels if you're very efficient, and even 2 wheels if you're even more efficient and more well-balanced. But the point is, you can even go down to a single wheel if you're really balanced. But the point is, there's still a wheel. So we have rendered this down to the idea of the single wheel. That's what the formula is. That's what the instruction manual is. Now, we can and have, obviously, for many years, gone into greater depth of explanation and detail about the instructions in the manual, but there are no more instructions. Acting on your passion to the best you can with no insistence or assumption of the outcome, remaining in a positive state, no matter what happens, unlocks the driving engine of your life, the organizing principle of synchronicity, the path of least resistance, the path of connection to all expressions of excitement in your life, the idea of being supported in whatever form of abundance you need to be supported to continue to act on your excitement, and the reflective mirror that reveals to you anything that's out of alignment to that excitement so that you can bring that belief to your consciousness and let it go. That's the entire instruction manual. There are no more instructions. It is the thing that will accelerate you the most, We can talk about and have talked about all sorts of ways of understanding the instruction manual, all sorts of permission slip ideas that go hand in hand with how to use the manual to get you into a proper space to use it most efficiently, like any tool. But there are no more instructions.
So I think this point is such a humongous point that he made at the beginning, that this year that we're in right now is such a juncture, a pivot point. It's a very, very important year. I have to say, I've been getting messages personally in my meditations that are saying, now is the time. Right now is the time. Now, like, make sure your vibe is up. Make sure that your thoughts are focused on love. We don't have time for anything else. This is a pivotal time. This is very, very, very important for us all to remember. I love that hindsight point about 2020 and what are the lessons and the information and the wisdom that we want to move forward with. How are those things going to help us move forward with clarity? And the other thing it makes me think about is 2020 is also focus. So clear focus, where are we focusing? We choose where we focus. Yes, there is positive and negative all around us. This is a balanced world we live in. We will see it all. But where do you choose to focus? Very, very important this year. You could be looking at a dirty, trash-filled alley, but there might be a beautiful flower growing next to that dumpster. What do you choose to see? It's a choice. Everything is out there for us to see. So how about those tools he gave? I'm going to repeat them because he said them really fast. And if you have to go back and re-listen, do so. Because really, these are the things that we talk about on this podcast all the time. And if we could, it's so simple, but we think it needs to be more complicated. If we could just do these things, acting on our passion, just act on our passion to the best that we can and have zero attachment to the outcome of it. Zero. How good does that feel? I'm going to do this because I love it and I don't care what anybody else thinks or what happens. I don't care if I make a single cent. I don't care if anybody sees it or hears it. I'm going to do it because I love it. That's the way we go about life, acting on our passions and remaining in a positive state no matter what happens. So when life gets messy, the more we can remain in a positive state and not let ourselves get all out of whack and out of balance because shit happens. It's going to. It's life. The more we can see the silver lining, the more we can go through it with love, the better we are. And what that will do then, those things unlock this engine of our life that brings on all this synchronicity, this flowing path of least resistance, this immense abundance. And also any of those reflections to show us, hey, you're not in alignment right now, so that we can see it, bring it forward and let it go. That's all we need to do. Those few things, they're easy. They really are. We just make them hard. It doesn't have to be. So just a little reminder from Bashar today, there are no more instructions. I have a whole lot more to say, but I'm out of time. So with that, we will pick up on some other topics that I learned over the weekend another day. For now, I'm going to leave you with a song. This is Let Yourself Go by Wookiefoot. Until next time, everyone. Love you all.
And if you're feeling the call to come for a week retreat style Mystic Manor immersion, remember to go now and book your time to speak with me directly about stepping into the optimistic vortex at calendly.com/talkwithbrandon while there are still spots left. Otherwise, I look forward to co-creating magic with you at the Mystic Manor.
never really should take it personal. Sometimes being a person is a curse when all that shit that comes with it just gets worse, and all you could do is let it go and forgive it all. You never really should take it personal. Sometimes being a person is a curse when all that shit that comes with it just gets worse, and all you could do is let it go, let it go. The train is already running on the wrong track. The personality formed a long way back, and it's hard to redirect it when infected with resentment. Quite content to reinvent the justifications. So much so we go to war with other nations. Little thought or thunk about the ramifications. Like a loose cannon swinging blind, we bring the devastation. Price paid by the younger generations. You never really should take it personal. Sometimes being a person is a curse when all that shit that comes with it just gets worse, and all you could do is let it go and forgive it all. You never really should take it personal. Sometimes being a person is a curse when all that shit that comes with it just gets worse, and all you could do is let it go, let it go. About how to catch a monkey with the rock that shines. You put it in a jar and see him get excited. Doesn't try to fight it, how your mind just can't suppress the appetite. He reaches in to try to grab it, wants the piece now. His hand inside, he finds he can't get his fist out. Time to let go, no, we're already free. If we could all just figure this out. You never really should take it personal. Sometimes being a person is a curse when all that shit that comes with it just gets worse, and all you can do is let it go and forgive it all. This life is not a curse at all. It really is a blessing, and the lessons all just remind us to find the light, and all you can do is forgive and let go.
You know what a good attitude will get you? Everything.